50 have never connected.
He's in that Street Fighter movie, so we were in Australia filming, like, I saw the guys with him, and, like, I recognized, like, a couple, like, it was security, but they didn't look like one guy looked like actual professional security, and I was like, that guy looks like that's his real job, being security. Not what I'm used to seeing 50 with.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, man, can't get in the country with felonies, bro. I had to bring the clean ones. So like the real people that he has around.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had to bring clean security.
Clean security.
And they are now where? Oh, the guy who actually shot me is dead. And the guy who pays him and got life in jail.
Well, I'm at the price of life. I grew up at the price of life is cheap. So if you got the money, if you got the bag, it's going to happen. He's not going to want to talk with me here. He's afraid for his life.
Can you hold on and I'll go check?
Angie, he's afraid for his life.
From courtside confrontations to live radio ambushes, from buying out concert rows to getting shot 9 times and watching the people responsible pay for it. 50 Cent has spent over 2 decades operating on a frequency most people can't even tune into. These are the 10 moments that prove exactly what kind of man Curtis Jackson is. Number 10. The restaurant confrontation with NFL Doom. It was June 2019. 50 was out at a spot in New Jersey with Nicki Nicole from Black Ink Crew. Just dinner, nothing else on the agenda. Then a rapper named NFL Doom spotted him and decided this was his moment. He rolled up to the table, pushing his music, demanding 50 scroll through his Instagram right there. 50 passed. Doom kept pushing. That was the wrong move. Witnesses described what came next as 50 grabbing a table and slinging chairs across the floor. Nobody got hit, but the message didn't need a punch. Invade his space uninvited and you find out exactly where the line is. Doom tried to spin it online afterward and even shot his shot at Nicki. The video of him trying to get out of range told a different story. Number 9. DJ Cosmic Kev and the Price of Life. Some interviews are promotions. The Power 99 sit-down in Philly with DJ Cosmic Kev was something else entirely. The topic drifted to how much a life is worth in the streets, and 50 answered like he was explaining a basic transaction. Where he grew up, if you had the money, it was going to happen. He broke down how easy it was to put money on somebody's head with the calm of someone describing a business process. Kev tried to keep up, talking about lawsuits and civil court if anybody tried him. 50 laughed it off. In his world, a subpoena means nothing because the money flows toward anyone thinking about cooperating. Then he used his own shooting as the example. 9 bullets. An ambulance that got shot at on the way to the hospital. A witness pool that suddenly couldn't remember anything. Kev walked in thinking he was having a radio debate. He walked out having been given a lesson in how a certain world actually operates. Number 8. Vivica A. Fox on Watch What Happens Live. In 2003, 50 and Vivica were one of the flashiest couples in hip-hop. It burned bright and burned out fast. For the next decade, the jabs were scattered. Then in 2015, Vivica sat down on Watch What Happens Live, and when the host brought up 50's comments about Empire's ratings, she didn't flinch. She said the pot was calling the kettle black, then pointed at an old magazine cover and made the implication plain, daring him to respond. Anyone who knew 50 knew he was going to find that same couch eventually. When he did, he didn't come with a statement or a denial. He dropped a single line about something personal that made the studio lose its mind. Andy Cohen couldn't hold his face together. The crowd was on its feet. 50 leaned back in his chair like he'd just closed a business deal. The whole thing was sitting in his back pocket for months waiting for the right camera. Number 7. Steve Stout at Madison Square Garden. Steve Stout isn't just an industry voice. He managed Nas at his peak, built Translation into one of the most powerful marketing firms, entertainment, and had years of real business with 50, Vitamin Water, sneaker deals, joint ventures. So when he sat down on Hot 97 in 2014 and made a calculated case for why 50 didn't belong on the list of hip-hop's most influential people, calling him a relic of a moment that had passed, it landed with weight. Weeks later, they crossed paths courtside at a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. Cameras were rolling. Security was 2 feet away. 50 didn't care about any of that. He closed the distance and got inches from Stout's face, letting him physically feel what his words had started. Afterward, he explained it simply. Stout was playing dress-up with street credibility he hadn't earned. That's a costume you don't want on when certain people walk into the room. Number 6. Jay-Z at Screamfest, Madison Square Garden. Running up on Jay-Z in his own city takes nerve most people don't have. The friction started in 1999 with How to Rob. Jay answered with a bar, 50 fired back, Jay never picked up the pen again. That silence sat for years. By 2007, Jay was at Screamfest inside MSG getting crowned alongside Kanye, T.I., and Diddy. 50 walked out from nowhere with no cue and no handler, took laps around the biggest names in the building, and hijacked the entire moment. Jay's irritation was visible. Diddy tried to defuse it. 50 stayed long enough to make his point and walked off like he owned the building. When Jay later told an interviewer nobody was actually afraid of 50, 50 flipped it immediately. Said Jay only said it because someone backed him into a corner and he needed to sound tough. Then he noted that when Jadakiss came for Jay, Jay put Beanie Sigel in front of him. The shot landed clean. Number 5. Splitting up Dipset from the inside. The tension between 50 and Cameron ran through New York radio and mixtapes for years. But 50 never bothered rap battling Cam directly. He went after something more valuable, the bond holding Dipset together. When Ballin hit and Jim Jones finally had his own spotlight after years of Cam and Maze soaking it up, 50 saw the opening and drove a wedge straight into it. He told Jim on air that they liked him better than Cam anyway. One sentence, engineered to put Jimmy and Cam on opposite sides of a room. Jones bit immediately, because when a man is finally having his moment, he doesn't want to pass on someone validating it. 50 described the move without a drop of guilt. He just threw it out there and watched what happened. That's not a rap battle. That's psychological warfare. Number 4, Jim Jones, the landlord call, and the kicked door. Years later, when Jones, Mano, Fabulous, and Dave East went on their podcast and compared 50's Diddy documentary to releasing someone's tape without permission, 50 didn't write a caption or record a diss. He called the landlord of the building where their podcast was recorded and posted the entire conversation online. The landlord revealed Jones owed somewhere between $80,000 and $180,000 in back rent, announced to millions of people for sport. Then, in February 2026, surveillance footage dropped of Jones physically kicking the door trying to get into that same studio. 50 posted the clip over Biggie's kick in the door instrumental and captioned it, "Sam is my partner. I own the joint. Fix every door you kick, or I'm going to kick your Jimmy." Jones responded by filming a tour of the studio he allegedly owed months of rent on. It only made everything worse. Number 3. Ja Rule's empty front row. By 2018, most people figured the 50 and Ja Rule war had finally died. It hadn't. When 50 noticed Ja's concert tickets had landed on a discount site for about $15 a seat, he didn't laugh and move on. He did the math. Roughly 200 seats in the first 4 rows at $15, each came out to about $3,000. He bought every single one and guaranteed they'd stay empty. When Ja stepped out under the lights, the section closest to the stage was completely vacant. Then 50 posted Photoshop pictures of himself sitting in those empty rows like he'd bought them just to watch the humiliation happen. Ja called him a liar and put up a $10,000 bounty for proof. 50 stood on the story in every interview afterward. Whether every detail happened exactly that way or got polished up for the camera, the legend is airtight. He will spend his own money just to embarrass you. Number 2. Firing the game on live radio. In 2003, 50 took a chance on an unproven West Coast rapper and built his debut around him. 6 songs including How We Do and Hate It or Love It. The album went platinum overnight. Then Game started distancing himself and taking shots. On February 28, 2005, 50 walked into Power 105 and turned a radio interview into a public execution. He told the audience that the songs that made Game famous weren't written by Game, that he created the concepts and Game rapped around the frameworks he built. Then he removed him from G-Unit in the same breath, Live on the Air. While that broadcast was running, Game was across town on Hot 97 with Angie Martinez when a caller broke the news to him in real time. Gunshots went off outside Hot 97 within hours. The beef turned physical before the afternoon was over. 50 had pulled the curtain back on the songwriting, kicked him out the camp publicly, and triggered a street response all in one interview. Number 1. 9 bullets, 1 Oprah couch. Before any of it, before Vitamin Water, before G-Unit, before the Platinum Records. Somebody tried to kill Curtis Jackson. May 24th, 2000. Outside his grandmother's house. She was planting flowers a few feet away when a gunman unloaded 9 rounds, shots to the hands, legs, and face. One tore through his jaw and left him with the slurred delivery that defined his entire catalog. When Oprah asked what it actually felt like to be shot, he said it doesn't hurt the way people imagine because of the adrenaline. It hurts after. He also adds something that almost never gets mentioned. Right after the shooting, he was scared. The man who tried to kill him was still breathing and still capable of finishing the job. So 50 made a decision to bury the fear under something louder. The anger became the music. The aggression became the brand. When Oprah asked what happened to the shooter, he answered without pausing. The man who pulled the trigger is dead. The man who paid him is serving life. And 50 Cent is sitting on her couch recounting it like a bedtime story. That's the list. Drop a comment. Which moment was the coldest? And is there one we missed that belongs on here?